Face your facts. 4 young men, very nervous, were invited for their very first audition recording by the executives of the Decca Recording Company. The executives were not impressed. As a matter of fact, one of them said as they dismissed these guys, "I didn't like their sound. Groups of guitar are on their way out." The group that was dismissed is known as the Beatles. They have since become the greatest band in history. Among many other accomplishments, they have sold over 1 billion records. And they lived together as a team for 37 years, the longest lifespan of any internationally recognized band. I ask you today, have you been dismissed? Have you been turned down? Have you been rejected? Have you been looked down upon? Have you been fired? Have you been broken-hearted? You see, life is understood backwards, but must be lived forwards. You've got to make sense of your past for you to learn to deal with it, settle it, and make motion forward. You might need a life coach to help you connect the dots so that you can look to your story backwards and forwards. I like saying it this way. Unless you identify the missing link, the passing of time will never alter your outcomes. John Maxwell perhaps puts it in a better way than me. He says that I quote, "Experience is not the best teacher. Evaluated experience is." I translate that to mean you can have a long, wrong experience. You can be married for 30 years, but you have such a wrong experience you don't qualify to guide anyone. It has always been a chaotic relationship. You can be in business for 40 years, but you've never graduated from a kiosk downtown. You can't offer advice for others how to grow their businesses. You can even lecture for 30 years the wrong way and mess up with students. You can have a long, wrong experience. What changes that is your ability to reflect and to evaluate yourself. A new year presents us with an opportunity to evaluate the last 366 days. And right now, I just want to invite you for just a few moments for you to reflect about the past 1 year. It is dangerous for you to begin the year 2018 and start living your life running up and down without taking a moment to take stock. Where am I? Where am I heading? You can't just start running up and about. You need to take stock every new season. And I want to ask you in these 5 areas, what did you achieve in 2017 in these 5 areas? The first area, and the most important, in your mental goals. You see, a lot of us, when we skip just one meal, we curse about. We like everyone knowing how we did not take lunch today. Everybody in the estate knows, today I didn't have lunch. But we are never troubled by skipping our mental meals a whole year in a row. We rush to hospital at the slightest toothache, but we hardly go for checkups for our mental well-being. Yet our mind is the CPU that gives our lives command. Actually, if you go through my teachings, you learn I keep saying you don't have a mind, you are your mind. How often do you take time to feed yourself, the real you? Kenyanjui is not the fellow walking around here. I can lose my arms and legs and eyes, and I'm still Kenyanjui. And what makes me Kenyanjui is my mind. What did you do for your personal growth and development? What did you deliberately do 2017? Secondly, in your relational goals, are you just whining how relationships are not working for you? How many outings did you go together as a couple? How many times did you exchange gifts? What have you done together this week, the whole of this week? I've jogged every day with my Mercy. And besides achieving our health goals, it also increases our endorphins, our ability to bond. Do you like it? In the marketplace, did you enhance your networks? Or are you just complaining how doors are closing for you? Thirdly, in your career goals, did you hit your targets? Did you achieve your KPIs, the key performance indicators? If you have been with me for some time, you know I teach you not to achieve your targets, but to exceed the targets, to exceed expectations, to go beyond expectations. What did you achieve in the corporate world? Have you been earmarked for possible rewards and possible future promotions? And if you're in business, did you expand your customer base? Did you enhance or open up new market frontiers? And even more importantly, what were your turnovers like and profitability? Number 4, what did you achieve in your financial goals? To start with, did you have a financial goal? If you are single and you're listening to me, you live alone, then you need to be setting your own personal goals. Did you have a clear, specific goal for you? How strange it is. The overwhelming majority of the people listening to me here this afternoon, you have financial goals for the corporations you work for, and your boss puts pressure for you to achieve the financial goal. Yet you cannot put pressure on yourself to achieve your financial goals. You don't even have one in the first place. And if you came here in this meeting as a married couple, what are your goals for 2018? Does your spouse know what you need to make this year? Or are you intending to grow money in the trees? Do you have a financial plan? How will you get that money? And number 5, what did you achieve in your health goals? Did you have health targets to start with? There are only 2 things under the sun that you personally can do about your health: diet and exercise. Everything else you leave it to God. There are only 2 things you can control: what you eat and your exercises. Did you follow that plan if you had one? And if so, what benefits are you experiencing? If you didn't follow the plan, what do you intend to do differently in the year 2018? Now, I'm asking you to take stock of your 2017 along those 5 areas. I'm not asking you to check what others achieved unless you're their life coach, mentor, or accountability partner. And even then, first take stock of yourself. You can't take others where you've never been. You can only effectively teach what you consistently model. You know, busybodies and losers are busy analyzing what everyone else achieved, but they never check themselves. They are flat dead about their own consciousness. And I urge you to rise above such petty folks and take stock of your 2017. Taking stock means making an assessment of the overall situation as a prelude to making informed decisions going forward. I want to give you some very simple steps to help you face your facts. To face your facts, number 1, locate where you are. Locate where you are. The first step towards going somewhere is first deciding you don't want to stay where you are. Locate where you are in your personal and professional life. Stop fooling yourself around. Locate where you are in these 5 areas. In your attitudes, in your relationships, in your career, in your finances, and finally in your physical fitness. Be sure this is where I am. Step number 2. Draw the red lines, decision points, turning point, a place beyond which you'll never slide again. Drawing the red line means I'll never be broke again. In the next 2 years or 3 years, maximum 4 years, I'm not going to pay rent again. In the next 6 months, I'm not going to weigh these kilos again. I'm not going to break our relationships again. Draw the red lines that the enemy cannot cross. Who is the enemy? Scarcity. That thing that you don't want. Draw clear lines that cannot be closed. And thirdly, focus on what you can change, not on what you can't change. Focus on what you can change, not on what you cannot change. You see, there are a lot of folks who keep on whining about how someone messed them up. Oh, you have no idea how he left me 4 children and no rent. Now I don't know what to do. I didn't even have a job. Look at me. Who cares? This is the harsh reality. You have 2 categories of people. One who will have a story to tell others, and the forecast will avoid one bother to avoid. So why go preaching that story? Rather than focusing on how he left you, focus on building more meaningful relationships. Focus on advancing your career. Focus on completing that degree you have failed to complete. Once you train your eyes too much on the door that is closing, you will fail to notice the window that is opening. If you keep rereading the last chapter, you'll never open a new chapter in your life. And so I urge you tonight, do not dwell on what might have been. Look at what can be. What are the possibilities before you?